Good day everyone. I am Mary Joy Sebastian together with my co-members Valerie Ronas, Marifel Tambawan, and Reina Felvital. And we are going to discuss to you the comets. And these are the learning objectives of this topic. First, define comet. Second, explain the importance of how comets get their name. And third, give the parts of comet.
Before we start our discussion, let us first do an activity that is related to our topic for today. The name of the game is Guess Me. This game is very simple. You just needed to analyze a picture and guess the jumbled letter below. A picture that has been given serve as your hint from this activity. Reminder, the clues are those have yellow circle. Are you ready, kids? Let us start. Guess me number 1. What is your guess? Comet. Very good. Let us proceed to guess me number 2. What is your guess? Nucleus. Very good. You got it right. Next picture. What is your guess? Gas tail. Excellent. Let's proceed to guess me number 4. What is your guess? Coma. Good job. And lastly, guess me number 5. What is your guess? You guessed it right. Dust tail. Very good.
Okay, so let's proceed to our discussion. So let us first define what is comets. So comets are cosmic snowballs of frozen gases, rock, and dust that orbit the sun. When frozen, they are the size of a small town. When a comet's orbit brings it close to the sun, it heats up and spews dust and gases into a giant glowing head larger than most planets. The dust and gases form a tail that stretches away from the sun for millions of miles. They are likely billions of comets orbiting our sun in the Kuiper Belt and even more distant Oort cloud.
Where do comets come from? For thousands of years, people have observed or seen comets. A comet's lifespan, when compared to the age of the solar system, may only be thousands of years according to what I've searched, meaning that the lifespan of comets is shorter than the lifespan of the solar system. This is because comets constantly shed material as they orbit the sun. When I say shed off the comets, these are the particles that appear as a dusty trail behind dirty snowball of rock, ice, and gas that makes up the comet's nucleus. Therefore, scientists have come to the conclusion that if comets are still present in the solar system today, then there must be a nursery of comets somewhere in the solar system, as otherwise, all the comets would have long since completed their lives. As theorized by astronomer Gerard Kuiper in 1951, a disk-like belt of icy bodies exists beyond Neptune, where a population of dark comets orbits the sun in the realm of Pluto. These icy objects, occasionally pushed by gravity into orbits bringing them closer to the sun, become the so-called short-period comets. Taking less than 200 years to orbit the sun, in many cases, their appearance is predictable because they have passed by before.
Less predictable are long-period comets, many of which arrive from a region called the Oort cloud, about 100,000 astronomical units. That is about 100,000 times the distance between Earth and the Sun from the Sun. For additional information, the Oort cloud is a predicted collection of icy objects farther away than everything else in the solar system. It fits with observations of comets in the planetary region of the solar system. but scientists have yet to observe any object in the Earth cloud itself.
A comet primarily consists of a nucleus, hydrogen envelope, dust, and plasma tails. Each comet has a tiny frozen part called a nucleus, often no longer than a few kilometers across. According to ESA, the nucleus of a comet is usually around 10 kilometers across or less. The nucleus contains icy chunks, frozen gases with bits of embedded dust. A comet warms up as it nears the sun and envelopes an atmosphere, or coma. According to science website, the coma is often 1 times larger than the nucleus.
As part of the comet, comets actually have 2 tails, a dust tail and an ion or gas tail. We have also the nucleus and the coma. So let us them discuss one by one. Let's start with the dust tail. The dust tail of a comet is composed of gases and tiny dust particles blown away from the nucleus as the comet is heated. The dust tail is the most visible part of a comet. Second, the ion tail. The ion tail is a stream of ionized gases that are blown directly away from the sun as a result of the comet contact with the solar wind. The coma, the cloud of gases that form around the nucleus as the coma is heated, is known as the coma. These gases are usually a mixture of water vapor, ammonia, and carbon dioxide. Next, the nucleus. Nucleus of a comet is composed of ice and rocky material. The nucleus of most comets range from about 10 to 100 km in diameter, though they can be as large as 100 km in diameter. So those are the parts of a comet.
How comets get their names? Comet naming can be complicated. Comets are generally named for their discoverer, either a person or a spacecraft. Comets are traditionally named after their discoverer, co-discoverers, or the automated system that first identified the comet. Historically, there have been exceptions to this role. Halley's Comet, 1P-Halley, and Comet Encke, 2P-Encke, were both comets named after the individual who first determined their orbit, not the first person to spot the comet in the night sky. Today, comets receive their informal and formal name from the Committee on the Small Bodies nomenclature based on the information they're given at the time of discovery. Comets are assigned formal names by the International Astronomical Union.
A famous comet's number 1, Halley's Comet. In 1705, while studying the orbits of several known comets, Edmund Halley found that the comet observed in 1532, 1607, and 1682 was one in the same. As a result of Halley's discovery, the comet was named after him. Halley's Comet is visible every 75 to 76 years. Halley's Comet is arguably the most famous comet in history. As a periodic comet, it returns to Earth's vicinity about every 75 years, making it possible for a person to see it twice in their lifetime. It was last here in 1986 and it is projected to return in 2061.
One of the most popular comets in history was definitely Comet Hale-Bopp. Comet Hale-Bopp was last visible in 1997 and will not be visible again approximately 2,300 years. According to NASA, the comet was one of the brightest comets ever to enter the inner solar system with an absolute magnitude of -1. At the same distance, Comet Hale-Bopp appeared 1,000 times brighter than Halley's Comet. Even from light-polluted regions like Chicago, its twin blue and white tails could be readily seen. This comet was named after its co-discoverers Alan Hale in New Mexico and Thomas Bopp in Arizona. Hale-Bopp was the furthest comet ever found by amateurs at the time of its discovery, according to NASA.
Third, Comet Shoemaker-Levy 9, also known as SL9, was a string of comets that was captured by the gravity of Jupiter and subsequently began an orbit about the planet. Shoemaker-Levy 9 is named after the discoverers Gene Shoemaker, Caroline Shoemaker, and David Levy. Comet Shoemaker-Levy 9, formerly designated D-1993 F2, broke apart in July 1992 and collided with Jupiter in July 1994, providing the first direct observation of an extraterrestrial collision of solar system objects. The comet was discovered by astronomers Caroline, Eugene M. Shoemaker, and David Levy in 1993. Shoemaker-Levy 9, or SL9, had been captured by Jupiter and was orbiting the planet at the time. It was located on the night of March 24 in a photograph taken with the 46cm 18" Schmidt telescope at the Palomar Observatory in California. It was the first active comet observed to be orbiting a planet and had probably been captured by Jupiter around 20 to 30 years earlier.
So, these are the key facts about comets. First, they have been referred as dirty snowballs or cosmic snowballs. It is because they are composed mostly of ice, rock, gas, and dust. Second, comets orbit the sun in elliptical paths. Just like the planets, the path of a comet path is far more elliptical than that of any planet. Third, comets have a halo when they move close to the sun. What happens is the solar radiation vaporizes the ice and gas in the comet into a halo around it. The halo is known as the comet's coma. Next, a comet has four components: a nucleus, a coma, a dust tail, and an ion tail. So the nucleus of a comet contains the vast majority of its total mass. The ion tail of a comet is a result of solar wind that blows the gas particles directly away from the sun. A comet's dust tail is a trail of dust and rocky materials that is left behind as it moves along its orbit path. Comets are believed to originate in one of two regions: the theorized Oort cloud or the Kuiper belt found beyond the orbit of Neptune and the dwarf planet Pluto. And the last one is the current number of known comets is 3,743. So those are the key facts about comets. And this is our references. So this is the end of our presentation. We hope that all of you learned something. Thank you for listening and have a great day.